Oppa Gundam style, everybody, and welcome back to Wow, Cool Robot, a show about Gundam, where we talking about Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta. I'm Max, I use he, him pronouns, and with me, as always, is Jake.
Hey there, I'm Jake. I also use the he, him pronouns.
Now, Jake, these episodes were pretty cool.
Yeah, they were like, hey, sorry about Moon Moon.
Sorry about Moon Moon. Sorry that we had to make you watch 2 episodes of complete garbage.
You ready for some cool stuff again?
You ready for some cool stuff? You ready to, like, I mean, okay. Look, I'm glad that Moon Moon's over. And it really does truly feel that they said, yes, we're very sorry for Moon Moon. You're gonna get, like, some kick-ass episodes. Gotta say, let's see. Before we get into it, Jake, do we have any Gunpla updates on the field?
So I have got that version Ka Double Zeta that I was talking about last week. Mm-hmm. And so far I've built both of the core fighters, the torso and the head. I'm feeling pretty happy with myself.
I'm sorry, I forgot to do a Gunpla update. Love that. So we're recording this on the 24th of January. This episode will be released on the 31st of January. And by that point, I will have moved into my new apartment and hopefully will have started on one of my many, many Gunpla. I think I might start with Ball. Just straight up.
I was hoping you would say that.
Ball Verka. You really can't go wrong. I feel like it's just... I'm out of practice, as in I haven't built a kit in like a month. So, which feels like way longer than it is. Gunpla update over. And now it's time for us to talk about the episodes. Because I'm ready. Woo! I'm all warmed up. I've been podcasting for 2.5 hours already. And without further ado, Jake, let me tell you about Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta, Episode 16, Melee Aboard the Argama.
I would love that.
The Argama continues to chase down Axis and Lena, and its repairs have neared completion. Tensions are still high aboard the ship, however, as Judo tries to give a morale-boosting speech which only serves to set L off when he mentions that Bicha and Mondo are dirty, stinking traitors, starting a fight among the Shangri-La kids. Over in Glemmyland, his soldiers capture a support vessel containing mobile suit parts for the Argama. Gotten decides to use this as an infiltration opportunity, taking along the remaining Endra soldiers with him. They fly over to the Argama and begin their attack, which goes about as well as you'd expect. Gotten and Emery are sucked out into space, and Judo fights the Bawu in the Double Zeta. Gotten and his crew escape because Judo refuses to fire on unarmed soldiers who are only in normal suits escaping the Argama. Bright and Emery share a romantic moment, as the Argama continues its search. And that's it. And look, I gotta say, Jake, starting out, people are really, really hopped up over Melee aboard the Argama still. It's a pretty old game. It's like 20 years old. I much prefer Ultimate aboard the Argama.
Yeah, you know, I really got into it with Brawl, so that's kind of where my nostalgia lands me. But I'm down for some Ultimate.
Yeah, that's the thing. I played Brawl aboard the Argama quite a bit in high school, and I definitely remember at some point my disc got scratched, and I had to mail it to Nintendo, and they sent me a fresh copy of Brawl aboard the Argama, and I was very happy about that. This episode's like, it's good, it's fun. It's like another like self-contained its own sort of thing, right?
Yeah. It's got some interesting stuff like you mentioned with L and Judo having their little conflict. I liked that a lot.
That was fun, yeah. So how's this one start out, Jake?
So the Argama is back with the Lavieros. And they said that the enemy hasn't noticed us yet, so this could be our chance to attack them. And so Bright is trying to figure out the plan and like where the enemy's heading. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And Elle is like, well, obviously they're heading back to Axis to resupply. Duh,
obviously, Bright, you stupid old man. She teases him being a tired old man, and like she as he leaves, she says, "It's tough being married with children, isn't it?" It's like fucking Bright.
He leaves to go to his quarters to pout, and he's like just kind of grumpy.
He's so grumpy and grumbly, and he's getting changed, and of course, Emery walks in while he's getting changed, and it's embarrassing. She's like, oh, and she blushes and whips around to the side, and Bright's still talking to her the whole time. She's here to tell Bright that the repairs on the Argama are nearly done. They've been docking with Levy and Rose for what feels like 1 billion years, but the Argama now has been fitted with brand new mega particle cannons that can destroy a battleship in a single shot.
and they'll be done after 5 hours.
Oh, 5 more hours of this.
So she goes to leave, and then Bright grabs her shoulder, and he says, Emery, I appreciate you.
God, this part sucks. I hate it so much, because she's like, oh, was Bright coming on to me like I've always wanted?
And she tries to take off his shirt after almost confessing her love. He struggles very much to say that, oh wait, I'm married.
So, in the beginning of this scene, like, he's looking at his family, he's looking at a photo of Mirai and Hathaway and Shaman, and, like, Emery comes in, and, you know, she, like, tackles him eventually, and he, like, very nearly kisses her, and then he sees the photo floating around. And I'm just like, I'm just tired of it. It's like, I guess I'd rather have this stupid conflict than whatever the hell went on in Moon, but it's still just like, can we be done with this? And I think we are done with this after these episodes, which is good.
Yeah, we only have one more episode left of this, I think.
Whew. Yeah, it's whatever. Show me something better, right?
And switching to something better, Judo comes over the PA system and starts yelling to everybody to listen to him while they work. He kind of gives like a big teamwork speech. And he said, since Axis has turned some of us traitors, the rest of us need to learn to work better together.
It's true. And like, yeah, join together, no one can tear us apart like the Endra did. And like, as he's talking, we do see Kara, which is what I'm going to call her now. I'm going to do my best to call her Kara soon. Kara is in a jumper and an apron washing clothes. It's very cool. I like to see this look for her.
I like it, except for the nice little accessory that she has with a toddler tied to her.
Yeah, like she's being tied up, right? Because you know she's a prisoner here. And first of all, wild that the two orphans, Shinta and Kum, are the only ones in charge of her.
Yeah, they put the literal babies in charge of the dangerous prisoner and made her do chores.
You couldn't have anyone else in charge of her? Just you had to do the kids.
Couldn't have an
Certainly
adult
not.
With some training? No.
And she's washing clothes and she says, you know, abusing prisoners is against the Antarctic Treaty. She says it's the orphans. And the orphans reply saying that prisoners are still allowed to be put to work. These kids ain't right.
Yeah, I'm like, how who taught them how the treaty works?
I know.
Like who taught them the intricacies of the freaking treaty?
It's exhausting. It's these poor kids. And, you know, we cut over, Elle is hearing Judo talk about how Bicha and Mondo are traitors, and she's so mad at him. And she, like, you know, she runs up and, like, jumps to, like, the balcony where he's broadcasting this from in the docking bay. And, like, you know, she's arguing with him, she's fighting, and Judo's like, oh, you're going to defend the people who are putting our lives in danger? Which I'm like, Judo has a point here.
And then, you know, tries to, like, tell her to stop. And she's like, doesn't it bother you that he's calling our friends traitors? And they're like, no. They are traitors.
Yeah, they are. And Ino joins in, and you know he's trying to stop Elle from freaking out. And like Rue walks by, and she's just like, "We're fucked." She's just like, "These kids should not be in charge. We're going to die because they cannot put their differences aside."
And Bright makes his way back to the bridge, and he just tells the bridge to turn the PA system off since the whole fight's being broadcast. He's like, "Just mute this. I don't want to hear it.
Enough of this, please."
Change the channel.
Yeah, change the channel, please. Like my sports are on. We cut over to Glemmy Land because I don't remember the name of his ship. I don't know if we ever got to hear the name of his ship. Do you know the name of the ship?
I have it somewhere in my notes. It rhymes with the Indra, and that's why I could never remember it because it was too close.
Okay, well, until we get there, it's Glemmy Land to me. Glemmy is like a lot more important. The Glemdra. That's what we're gonna call it. It's the Glemdra.
No, I found it in my notes. It's the Mindra. They just put an M. They just put an M at the front of it.
Okay, well, yeah, right. Glemmy's on the Mindra, and he's in charge of the whole thing, I guess. Like, you'd think that Gotten would be the one in charge, but because you know, Mashmer was in charge and he fucked off, and Kara was in charge and she was captured, and you would guess it would go to Gotten, but I guess since Glemmy is one of Hamon's special chosen boys, he gets to be in charge because Mashmer was the same sort of thing. He's with Lena. Lena's playing piano in a room. He's talking about how he has to report to Hamon for losing the Endra, and also Lena has to learn how to play Bayer before they get to Axis.
He tells her, he says she must master it before they reach Axis.
Whatever. And then he gets word that there's an identified craft nearby, so he sends some Gazas out to get it.
And it's just two people hanging out in a transport ship. They couldn't be doing anything.
It's probably fine.
The Gaza like holds it in his hands and is like interrogating them, and they're talking to themselves, not like broadcasting to him. And they like are like, oh no, what if they know that we're headed for the Argama?
Yeah. So these people, one of the girls looks like Aerie from Metal Slug, and the other is like some guy.
Oh shit! Yeah, she sure does.
Yeah, right. She has like freckles and a ponytail and glasses. Their names are Millie and Madchar, and it took me a while to get that. But Millie's the girl, and the guy is Madchar. It's spelled Madchar, so Madchar, but it's pronounced Madchar from what they say in the show. And they're fine, I guess. And they get captured, and they're taken in, and Glemmy sends Gotten out to question them to make up for his loss at Moon Moon.
And they just claim that they're like civilian vendors and that they
don't know nothing.
Yeah, they don't know nothing. We're just civilians.
We're baby. And, they're like, we got to interrogate the girl because the guy seems useless and he's not going to tell us anything.
One thing to note, just because it kind of like compounds things on in later episode, as he's like storming to go interrogate them, like he storms through the halls and like runs past Mondo and Bicha and like makes them drop all their laundry that they just folded.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That kind of does play into things, doesn't it?
Yeah, just a little thing, but I thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, poor Mondo and Bicha. And like we see them interrogating, they have a whip. Like they have one of those like frilled whips, and the girl's saying nothing. The guy immediately is trying to spill the beans. He's like, it's for the Argama. It looks like it's random mobile suit parts. We don't know what it is. We never told.
Which is funny because, like, in the scene immediately before that, as they're like heading down the elevator, they're like, just ignore the guy. He won't say anything, but interrogate the girl because she'll spill everything.
I know. Yeah, that was weird. I guess it's like the, what they'd expect versus how it is.
Yeah.
And Gotten decides that they're going to use this as cover to infiltrate the Argama because, it's meant for there. They'll be able to get in. And the Endra Corps are here, which are just the leftover soldiers from the Endra. And I love this moment. This is so good.
It was really touching. They just wanted to keep the name alive. And so all the surviving members are calling themselves the Endra Corps.
And Gotten, he says, if Mashmer were here, he would say this: "You are all true knights, the three musketeers of the Endra." And he's crying, "Long live the Endra." It's such a good scene. I love it. It's so cute. They're just guys being dudes.
And back on the bridge, Glimmy is informed that ship has taken off, and so has the Bawu. And he is pissed because that is his mobile suit, damn it.
Bawu, yeah, he just takes it, and he decides he's allowed to.
Yeah.
And we see the Bawu's trick, because the Bawu, what it can Bawu is, it's a mobile suit, it looks cool, but it splits in twain, hamburger style. Now, Jake, do you know the names of the halves of the Bawu?
I was unaware that they had different names, no.
Oh, Jake. The top half of the Bawu, which is the head and the torso and the arms, that's called the Bawu Attacker. They both transform into mobile armors. Jake, the bottom half of the Bawu, that's the pelvis area and the legs, that's called the Bawu Nutter. You can just call it that. They saw, people writing Mobile Suit Gundam saw that in Star Wars Episode 4, 1977, George Lucas named the music that the Cantina Band was playing Jizz music, and they said, we can do better than that. We can make the Bawu, we can make the bottom half of the Bawu called Bawu Nutter. It's 1986, no one's gonna care.
I'm fucking dying.
That's amazing. Just call it that.
But oh, that's perfect. Anyways, they decide they're gonna use the ship as a Trojan horse to capture the Argama. Like, we don't need the Mindra's help. We'll just go out and do it. And back on the Argama, they see the bridge sees a flare go off in the distance, and they're like, "Oh, this is our parts ship." Telling us that they've arrived. It's our peeps, and they're radioing them. They're acting all cool, but of course, Gotten and his dudes are all stowed away inside. The Bawu's like attached to the underside of it. They're saying, this is just like some junk that we picked up on the way. Yeah, they're towing it. They're like, we found it abandoned. Yeah, it's fine. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. And Judo is like getting ready to go out in the Double Zeta to investigate it. And like, what the fuck is the Bawu doing? They don't know it's the Bawu, but like, what is that thing?
And of course, the girl is going to be a hero, and she rams. I'm sorry, Millie. This is before I realized her name was Millie, so I just wrote the girl.
Yeah.
Millie's a hero. She like rams the catapult, so the Bawu flies off and gets stuck on the side of the Argama. And at this point, soldiers are pouring out to attack. And we see one guy. They're running out with guns and everything. One guy takes this dinky, tiny little flag and plants it on the runway. But this flag is like a square foot, maybe. It is a tiny flag.
It was real cute, though. I loved it.
It's very cute. I love it a lot. It's good stuff.
For some reason, Judo is in the he's in the Zeta cockpit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This guy, at first I thought maybe they're just being lazy on the subtitles. Because I was like, why would he be in the Zeta? But no, he actually is.
He actually is in the Zeta. Yeah, I forgot about that. I said double Zeta earlier, but no, it's just regular Zeta.
And a guy, one of the invaders, lands on the Zeta's cockpit. He like throws away his gun, and he's like, "Come on, I'll fight you fair and square.
I'll fight you hand to hand, buddy."
And
they're so stupid. These guys are idiots.
Yeah, you know what? This mission could have been a success for them if they had a single brain cell between them.
I truly love that, though. It's such good flavor. Of course, the Endra soldiers are all complete beefcake himbo dipshits and don't know anything. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take my helmet off. I'm gonna fight this little boy hand to hand. It's fine. I'm not gonna use guns. To be fair, Gotten does order them not to use guns. We'll take it without bloodshed, which is, again, good on Gotten. He's one of the better Axis people. Don't take that out of context, please. But and then like Judo grabs a metal pipe and the soldier's like, that's dishonorable. If you're gonna do it, I'm gonna grab metal pipe too. And this is like a lightsaber fight with big old metal pipes. I love it.
It was pretty rad.
It's cute.
Back on the L'Avion Rose, Emery finds out about the invasion and she orders the crew to leave the L'Avion Rose and go assist the Argama.
And you know, she ends up seeing Bright getting stuck up by Gotten, so she like attacks him, and then she ends up getting held hostage. And at this point, you know, the alarm's being set. Kara's with the little orphans, but Kara feels Gotten's presence, so she like uses the broom to attack the orphans and escape.
Except, like I mentioned earlier, one of them's tied to her.
Yeah, Shinta's tied to her. It's just like it makes sense, but she's an adult woman and they're kids. They can't overpower her.
As is easily shown here.
Also, I think this is like one of the first times we actually sort of get proof that Kara's a new type, because there's no way she would know that Gotten's attacking, but then she like just perks up. She's like, Gotten. So I believe, I'm still saying it, Kara's a new type. We'll see if I'm right. I'm definitely right though, almost certainly.
I think so.
Let's see. So yeah, Judo's still fighting a soldier in the Zeta's cockpit. They're all bumbling around. L is in the Mark II at this point, trying to stop them. It's a whole snafu, isn't it?
And the guy almost gets into the Zeta, and then L gets the Mark II's gun and like points the whole ass gun like right in this guy's face, and is like, she's like, "Hey, don't. No."
It rules. It's just a cute little thing. I love that it's like a fight scene, but it's not like high stakes because you know they're not going to win.
Yeah,
it's just a fun time.
And so another guy tries to get into the Zeta, and Judo starts fighting him, and they start moving the Zeta, and it falls onto the Mark II.
Yeah.
And so he says, "Hey, L, just hold tightly onto the Zeta, and then that way neither of our suits can get taken."
Smart.
Yeah.
Hey, it works.
Yeah. Takes her out of the fight, kind of, but like it does keep both of their suits from being taken. Yeah,
and one of the Endra Corps goes down to find the double Zeta. And we cut over. Kara bumps into Gotten in the hallways, and she's like defending him with the broom. And she's like, "Yeah, you're important to me." And Gotten's like, "Mistress Shara, you really feel that way?" It's cute. I like this. This is a good episode. I changed my mind. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's especially with what we watched last time. Oh
God.
So, Eno and the orphans are behind Gotten. And they're like, okay, we're gonna sneak up and take him down. Eno has like a plunger, like we're gonna sneak up, take him down, and we're gonna free Miss Emery.
Yeah, and of course, as this happens, the soldier who's in the Bawu that was stuck to the Argama the entire time, he's like, well, I'm gonna fire missiles and blow my way out.
Yeah, he's like, I can't get free, so I'm just gonna shoot right here next to me with missiles.
Surely this will be fine. And he shoots it, and the missiles like, fire, they wrap around the Argama, and they blow a hole in the hallway, which immediately sucks Gotten and Emery out into space. Uh-oh.
Oopsie.
Uh-oh, and Emery passes out, and Gotten grabs her. He gets in the Bawu, and he frees it. He uses the verniers to slide its way out, and he transforms it. And he is about to shoot the bridge when Judo finally comes out in the Double Zeta and challenges him to a fight.
And I wrote down that Eno grabs the orphans and he braces himself in a side hallway and holds on to them so they don't get sucked out. And I'm like, oh, that's really nice.
Cute. When Judo challenges Gotten, he does say, "You don't get to have a party like this without paying for it." That's such a cheesy one-liner action movie line. It's great.
And he immediately cuts the guy's shield in two. And they fight a while. They fight a tussle. And then the Babu is like, well, hey, what if I just get the ship between us? And so he hides behind the Argama. And they keep going back and forth and up and down so each one's on the opposite side of the Argama. And
it is comedy to me, Jake. I love it.
I thought it was kind of funny.
It's like, it's like when you're playing with a dog or something and they're on the other side of the table, and if you go left, they go to their left, so you're always on opposite sides. It's just a cute little thing.
And then Judo realizes that hey, through the hangar, both of these doors are open. Yeah. If I can get him to where the other door is, I can just shoot through the ship and hit him. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was wild.
That's lateral thinking. Good job, Judo.
Yeah.
And eventually, they go out, they have their beam saber face off. Judo ends up cutting one of the Bao's arms off, and he's about to shoot the kill when all of a sudden he sees the rest of the soldiers fleeing the Argama, and he completely freezes. He can't do a damn thing.
And everybody's yelling at him shoot anyways. And he's like, but they're just people in their normal suits. And Bright's like, shoot them anyways. It's a war.
Judo has the right of it. You probably shouldn't shoot unarmed fleeing soldiers. Just a thought.
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents.
He then sees Emery floating towards him in space and uses that as his reason not to fire. He's like, no, wait, I gotta grab her instead of shoot them.
Which is funny because Gotten sends out Emery because he's like, oh, he's gonna shoot us if we don't have a shield. Let's send the girl out. So it works out both ways.
Yeah. And then Bright decides to throw on a normal suit and go float off into space to see her. And I wrote here in my notes, I really like this line. I was just horny dum-dum don't even have jetpack. Literally just floating.
He just jumps. He doesn't have a thruster or anything. And they grab each other and they're spinning and it's romantic. And he's married.
And slow music starts playing.
He's married.
And then Judo grabs them each in a separate hand and separates them and says no space horny time.
Leave room for the Holy Spirit, please.
We go back to the bridge, and Bright is sitting sideways in his chair. He's got his arms crossed, his head down, he's so grumpy.
He's so grumpy.
Oh my god, that cracked me up.
It's good.
It immediately hard cuts to him just sitting in his chair, all grumpy and like a little kid.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and the last thing is, we get introduced to Millie and Madchar finally, who are our friends who are just going to hang out in the Argama now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
And Judo swears once again to rescue Lena.
Oh, he gonna do it this time for real. And yeah, this episode, I liked it. Good times.
'Twas good.
'Twas good. And now, Jake, let's get into the real good stuff.
All right.
Let's hit it.
Episode 17. Retrieve the core top. The Argama leaves La Vie en Rose fully repaired. Madchar says that they have orders to attack Axis all by themselves with the aid of the Mega Rider they brought, as well as the Argama's new Mega Particle Cannon. The Argama flies up to an abandoned colony, deciding to test this cannon, not knowing that Gotten and his crew are lying in wait. As the cannon charges, power to the Argama is cut, allowing Kara to make her escape with Shinta. This prompts Gotten to attack, and a frantic fight breaks out. Despite Kara's best efforts, Judo is able to stop her from fleeing by combining the double Zeta. But as Gotten and his men flee, a dark purple Cubely appears, piloted by an unknown new type. The Gundam team is being ravaged by the Cubely's funnels, but are saved when the Argama's cannon finally fires, driving off the Cubely and annihilating the abandoned colony. Seeing this, Judo is convinced Lena would die if it was fired on Axis, so he detaches his core from double Zeta and flies to Axis alone to rescue Lena.
Let's go, Cubely time!
Woo!
God,
it was so hyped.
This episode was good. I was having a fun time, and then you see the Cubely, and I just started yelling and hooting and hollering, clapping like a train seal. Oh,
and I most of my knowledge of Double Zeta comes from the old PS3 Dynasty Warrior Gundams games.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I knew that this was coming. And I kind of know who the pilot is a little bit from the brief, tiny morsels of story that you get from those games. And when it showed up, I was just like, oh, it's even cooler.
It's happening. Yes. Oh, God. Oh, what a good robot. And you know what? I would argue that since the Q-Blade, this is technically the Q-Blade Mark II, this will be on our tier list at the end of the season. So we can definitely rank this thing in, double S tier where it belongs.
The Shadow Q-Blade.
Oh. So this one starts out, the Argama's finally left La Vie en Rose. Emery's gone. Good riddance, time of your life. Goodbye forever. Bright misses her. You're married, Bright. I hate you so much. Oh, I hate you, Bright.
Judo and Elle are spying on him from like outside of his room and are making fun of him.
And then the orphans and Kara show up and they also spy on him. They join in.
And like, I don't know if you noticed this, but in this episode, the faces were really off model.
This one, yeah. Especially Kara does not. Yeah. I do not know who she is in this episode. No, that is not Kara Soon.
If it were not for her hair, I would not have known who this character was.
Everything about her is wrong. Like it's sort of like, how Yu-Gi-Oh has like 16 different animators for every episode. So it's like, it always looks different between episodes. Like this, I feel like this is the same thing. Maybe it's like a different team working on it or a different studio, but like, yeah, I do not know these people.
Yeah, they are. Whew. Anyways, Bright walks out of his room and catches everybody spying on him.
It's cute. And like, Judo's like, oh, I'm here to give you a message from Medchar at the Bay. And you go to the Bay, and the Medchar's like, yeah, you got orders to attack Axis all by yourself. Bye, have fun.
He's hanging out in the Mark II, which is funny. Like, he's like,
this guy sucks. I don't like this guy one bit.
Me neither.
He's so presumptuous.
He's kind of a douche.
He's kind of a dickhead.
And like, not to mention, last episode he was willing to totally sell at the Argama in like the drop of a hat.
Yeah, I don't care for this guy at all. He's like, he's like, it's fine, you can do this. You got the Mega Rider, which was the parts that they were carrying to them, which essentially is a combination Mega Launcher and Shackles, and the Shackles is basically like the hoverboard that mobile suits use. So it's like a hoverboard with a gun on it. It's cool, I guess.
And yeah, they're the only ones who are supposed to go attack Axis. But he's like, with your new Mega Particle Cannons, the Mega Rider, the 3 Gundams, and the new types you got, you should be able to handle this.
Oh, God. Probably not, though. I mean, historically, it doesn't end well.
And then Millie is just like, hey, if you destroy Axis, you might blow up your sister, so be careful, lol.
Yeah! And, like, this sets Judo off. Judo's like, we can't do that!
And he kind of imagines it in, like, gruesome detail.
I know! It's awful! I don't want to see it! It freaked me out.
Elle, like, kind of calms him down, and she's like, we'll save her before that happens. We'll rescue her as the Gundam team.
They said it!
And I was like, ooh, the Gundam team! I love that!
She said it! She said the Gundam team! It's the thing from Gundam! Which got me excited, because it's like, yeah, they got Mark II, they got Zeta, they got Double Zeta. We love it. And, yeah. They're like, rallying. Their Judo's like, we're going to rescue Lena as the Gundam team. And Millie's so moved by this, she's like floating to Judo, but she has her blowtorch on, like pointed at him. So he's like freaking out, jumping away, diving between robots. And like, he ends up landing on the Zeta's leg. And Eno's like, we just painted that, dude. And yeah, it's a funny handprint on the Zeta.
And then we cut to some totally wrecked, fucked up looking colony just floating around in space. And, there's some mobile suits just chilling out in here.
So I got very excited at first. First of all, I was like, is this Grips? It's not Grips because Grips was closed. It didn't have like the panels floating off of it. Like the mirror panels where the sunlight goes in.
Oh,
and
that'd
then
be
you see
cool.
inside, see a bunch of Gazas. And you see a suit, a mobile suit called the Gazome. I thought this was a Bjarlan at first because it has literally the same color scheme. It's black and gray, has a red mono-eye camera inside a sort of like skull-looking head. It has like the yellow sort of like collar crest thing. It looks really similar to Bjarlan in this shot. It's not, but I thought it was. But no, it's the Gazome, which is fine.
And I don't think they ever actually say the name until, like, the next episode.
I don't even know if they say it in the next episode.
In, like, the episode, like, review where they talk about the last one.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, all of Gotten soldiers are, like, crammed into the new mobile suit, like a clown car. Kind of talking about their plans.
Yeah, they're saying, the Argama's path is going to lead it here. We are going to dive out and attack when it does so. And yeah, I mean, that's a fucking plan, I guess.
And back on the Argama, they happen to across the colony, and Medjar says, like, hey, we could use that as target practice. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. Probably no one's hanging out inside.
And Bright says yes.
Let's do that. Good idea, Medjar. You're finally making yourself damn useful.
And then this scene just made me write Jesus Christ, because
yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Kara corners Judo in the bathroom, and she's like, help me escape and I'll help you save your sister, because I totally helped you last time. And she's like shoving her boobs in his face.
Her titties are straight up pressed to this 15-year-old boy's face.
And he's like, no.
No, absolutely not.
And the kids eventually unlock the bathroom door, and they tackle her. And then she takes the rope that she's, being used to be tied to one of the little kids, and starts to choke Judo. Like, oh, say no to me, huh, motherfucker?
Yeah, like, oh my god. Clam down. And of course, what happens now is the Argama is preparing to fire the mega particle cannon. They have to shut down like half the power to the ship while they do that, because it takes quite a bit of juice. So in doing this, Kara is able to, in the scramble, grab Shinta and dive out of the bathroom, making her great escape.
She's like, I'll just make like Glemmy and do some kidnapping.
Glemmy thinks he's so cool for kidnapping a 10-year-old. I'm gonna kidnap a 5-year-old. Do you one better, Glemmy Toto.
Back in Gotten's clown car, they see the Argama approaching and wonder if it's going to actually do anything. They open the hatch so that they can start going back to their other mobile suits, and they forgot that they didn't like close their helmets, so they all have their helmets open and start to suffocate.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, these guys are so dumb.
They're so stupid. It's really funny though. I love that because they're all cramped in there. It's like 4 guys in one cockpit. Well, that sounds don't take that out of context either.
My favorite old internet video.
No. And Gotten's like, it's so cramped in here, it's hard to breathe. And one of the guys is like, you know what? Open the cockpit, get some fresh air. And he's like, yeah, I'll do just that. And then they all freak out. And they close it, and then they open it again. They all leave. And we cut back. Oh, God, I love this episode. We cut back. Elle sees Judo and Kun chasing after Kara. And Judo's like, yeah, she took shit just going off. And Elle's like, that boobzilla. Hello? Boobzilla? You can say that?
Apparently.
I don't think so. Absolutely. Just tremendous writing all around. We love it.
And Medjar is just getting real pumped for the cannon.
He loves it. I hate this guy so much. He's so presumptuous. He's like the kind of person who like you meet and you're friends with, and they think that you've been friends for 100 years and they act so familiar. It's like, no, we're not at that point yet, dude. Calm down.
You're like, I've known you for half an hour.
Yeah, you gotta just chill out, my guy. He's whatever. I'm tired of him. Hope he dies.
Bright gets called about Kara and about her having tried to escape. And Rue is like, yeah, well, this is why she should have been locked up. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. She's absolutely right.
Yeah, probably. You shouldn't have put her in the... And like, yeah, she's like, the argument is short-handed, but like, you don't need to use a prisoner for labor like that. And she has a point. But of course, Kara ends up making it to the... Kara ends up making it to the docking bay. She has Shinta. She ends up getting in a core to escape. And she's like firing, she blows up the door and flies out. And like, Judo gets into the Zeta, but he gets another handprint on it.
Yeah. And then Medjar is just like, he doesn't even give a shit. He's just bummed that the test has to wait.
He just wants to see someone get big blown up, which is valid. I mean, it's an abandoned colony, so I guess it's fine blowing it up. You're not going to feel bad about it. And yeah, and Judo ends up getting in one of the cores. I think I said he gets in Zeta earlier. He gets his hand on Zeta, is what I meant to say. He gets in a core. He flies out. Ino flies out with Coom as well in another core. And now Gotten and the boys are mobilizing because they see the double Zeta parts flying out. They're like, oh shit, oh fuck, we gotta go.
And so Gotten yells at them not to be hasty, but they all scatter anyways. And Kara is like, I'm gonna fuck up the argument a little bit, just as like a little treat, just as a little revenge.
It's a fun thing for me to do. We love it.
Shinta wakes up and starts choking out Kara with his legs, which is
he puts her in a headlock with his legs. It's crazy. Damn, dude, you're like 5. You don't even know how to do this.
The Argama spots the enemy mobile suits. So they have L launch in the Mark II and Ru launches in the Zeta. And
Gundam team.
And Medchar is just horny for the cannon and is trying to boss everybody around.
To be in charge. He like wants a headset and everything. It's not plugged in, but he's like twirling it around. It's like, this guy. I know I like guys who suck, but not in this way. He's just like incompetent and like rude.
And that's so true. And Gotten is like, we could just sink the Argama right now, but unfortunately Kara's on board. And,
it was like, nah, you've been tricked, Gotten. And we see Millie on one of the turrets, and she ends up like, she hits Gotten a little bit, and she's having a great time. She loves to do a kill and a murder. Good for her, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, clam down, girl.
And Judo and Ino are both in the other parts of the mobile, or of the Double Zeta, and his plan is to get one of them on either, like one in front of her and one behind her, and basically force her to dock with them. Mm-hmm. And so that he'll be in control of the whole thing and he can just bring her back. Good
plan. I mean, that's like what I would have done.
And like I probably wouldn't have even thought of that, actually. Judo successfully docks with her, and Ino tries to also, but he's getting shot at, so he can't. But Kara is no longer in control since Judo has docked.
Yeah, and like, Gotten is like self-firing on them, everything. Ino like blasts a ton of missiles to distract
just
Gotten.
So many.
And then, they end up transforming, and now Gotten's like starting to fire on the Argama now, but like every single time he tries to like fire at it from a different angle, he's getting shot more and more. Like, we even see the Argama crew members have like strung up mobile suit weapons, but like cover them in wires so that they can use them themselves and like fire out of the docking bay.
That was so cool.
It's like guerrilla warfare, like, damn.
And then, in the middle of all this fighting, my notes just say, oh shit, is that a motherfucking goth-ass Kublai?
Yes! So Judo sees, like, Gotten and his crew are starting to leave, and Judo, like, fires at an asteroid, and it pops, because it's a dummy. And what if Kublai was goth?
I love it so much.
It is so, oh my god. Like, it rules. It's like, I expected, I figured I would see a Kublai, because why wouldn't I have seen a Kublai? It's a Gundam show, of course. But like this is not, it's not Hamon's Kublai though. It's different. It is essentially it's literally Kublai, but instead of white, it's a very dark plum purple.
And like black and gray in some spots also.
It is so, God, it's so sick. This is technically the Kublai Mark II. But it's, I don't know what the difference is. I think it might have more funnels in the butt. But again, it rules. Like, at first, it doesn't really do anything. It's just kind of like hanging there, and they're like, what is that? But then we look inside. And there's a new type in there, certainly. It's some young girl. We don't know her deal yet. She's probably fine and normal.
Totally
normal. And then we get funnels.
It releases the funnels, and they start shooting at the mobile suits. And Bright is like starting to prepare the cannon. He's going to shoot it at the Kublai because he's seen what these motherfuckers can do.
Yeah, because funnels, like, I love that we're like really starting to see more funnel stuff, because funnels are they're scary. You can't fight a funnel. Like, a new type attacks you, you're done. That's it, my guy.
Yeah. So he orders the Gundam team to get out of the way, and they're trying, but just dang it, all these funnels, they're having a hard time with it.
They shrimply can't. And eventually, they finally are able to move enough so that Bright fires the Argama cannon, and like, it like blasts by, and it like the Kublai like dodges out of the way, and it ends up like hitting the colony, and the Kublai flies off. But like everybody's like, that was really scary. Like they, not about the Kublai, but about like the Argama's cannon. They're like, maybe we shouldn't have this kind of weapon. And Judo sees this happening, sees the colony getting like obliterated, and he's like, if we fire this on the Axis, Lena will die. I have to go by myself. And he like detaches his core from Double Zeta and like rockets off to Axis to save her.
And everybody tries to get him to come back, but they just can't match his speed.
No, not like that.
They're like, Judo, you can't do it on your own. And then the episode ends.
Damn, that's how you end an episode, with a Q-blade and a weapon of mass destruction.
Hell yeah.
Oh, all right, Jake, shall we take it home with the third one? I'm ready to get right into it. I'm so excited.
Oh, this one is great.
Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta, episode 18. Hamon's Black Shadow. On Axis, Glemmy meets with Hamon, and she tells him that she plans to visit Earth to take over the Federation government with the help of Psycho Gundam. Hello? As this happens, Judo makes it to the docking bay of Axis and sneaks off to find Lena. The purple Q-Blaze pilot, Elpie Pull, is how you say it. Her first name is Elpie, last name is Pull.
I thought her name was Puru.
Puru or Pull, it goes either way. But from what I can understand, I asked people on our subreddit, I asked people on our Discord. God, an awful Freudian slip. I asked people on our Discord, and I feel like it's either Pull or Puru. I'm gonna say Pull because that's fun. LP Pull. LP Pull feels Judo's presence and chases after him. At the same time, Bicha and Mondo grow fed up with the way they're treated on Axis and decide to leave, taking Lena with them. Judo and Pull meet up, and she agrees to take him to Lena. Lena breaks away from Glemmy and runs into Bicha and Mondo, who see the Bawu and hijack it. Judo and Pull make it to the palace, where Judo sneaks off and runs into Hamon herself, sisters, who feels his strong presence. Before Hamon can shoot him, the Bawu shows up, chasing Goten and his soldiers. In the confusion, Judo steals a transport and drives back to the hangar, getting out inside his core fighter before it's sucked out into space. Pull shows up in her Q-Blade, and Ino and Millie come out of hiding to shoot at her. Judo combines into the Double Zeta and faces off against Pull, who just wants to play with Judo. He drives her off and heads back to Axis to finally rescue Lena. Holy moly, this one's good.
Yeah.
This one maybe is the best episode so far, I'd say.
I could get behind that.
This one is such a good episode.
I was gonna say, before we start talking about the episode proper, I always watch the recaps of the last episode, and this this one is wild. So he's talking about the events of the last episode and says, "But since they didn't kill me, I guess I'm stronger now. I suppose it was another test God was giving me." Hello?
Judo has become Catholic.
That just was so out of place that I immediately had to take a screenshot and send that to Max, and I was like, "Excuse me?
Hello?
What's happening?"
It is, oh my god. It's such a wild, crazy thing out of context, but it's very, very silly, isn't it?
Yes, I love it so much.
It's good. So yeah, this one starts out, we're on Axis. I love to see Axis. It's a cool looking mountain ball spaceship asteroid thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, Axis and weather is nice," and Glemmy's like, "Yeah, Lady Hamon likes the summer weather," which is, yeah, can't blame her. It's like how Colony 1 or Colony 10 or whatever the fuck. It's like how Side 1 is set in springtime all the time because the people just like it like that.
And Glemmy is talking to Hamon, and he's
talking to Hamon. By the way, Hamon's here. Hello, it's her. It's my mom.
He's got a new outfit, too, and it is...
he's looking a little fancy with it, don't he?
This is nice. He's got the drip.
Got a wee bit of drip, that guy.
And she's praising his exploits and says, "Never mind losing the Indra. It's just an expensive lesson you had to learn."
Which is like, that's
damn.
Good. I like that, because, I don't know, I like the idea that Hamon's a good leader. And he's like, yeah, you fucked up, but, whatever. I know you're competent enough to, move past it. I don't know. Not to hand it to her, but, I'll hand it to her this time. And she says that she's going to head to Earth. Oh, also, by the way, her hair looks like shit. I don't know what happened to it. I guess it's because her hair is wet.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like she just got out of the shower and hasn't had time to style it yet.
Because we see her at the pool later, so I guess that's what it is.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
But it sucks. This is not my Hamon Karn. I don't care for it. But I guess I'll have to deal. And
for a little
bit. She says she's going to head to Earth because, after all the Titans and the Aug and all that nonsense, their government's very, very weakened, so she can just take over the Federation. And by the way, she has Psycho Gundam again.
Yeah, what?
She can do. So, okay, at first I was like, hello? But then I realized, oh yeah, no. When Camille killed Rosamia outside of the moon, she was in the Psycho Mark II, but they never destroyed the Mark II. It's just floating there still. So I guess certainly Axis is like, hey, look at that, and they recovered it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
So they can just have a Psycho Gundam now, sure.
And Glemmy's like, well, who's going to pilot it? Who can pilot it? And she's like, oh, well, aren't you organizing a new type corps?
Which is weird, because Glemmy's like, oh, that's just rumors. But it's weird that Haman said that to Glemmy, because, like, wouldn't Haman know more than literally anyone else?
Right?
Maybe she's, I don't know, maybe she's given him the idea to make a new type core. Or maybe it's all a big goof and I'm just being messed with.
But she's entrusting the Psycho Gundam to him, and she's like, well, I want to take you to Earth with me.
Yeah. Which is like, Glemmy is a really important character, as it turns out.
Turns out he's not just like the new baby pilot for one episode. He's an important dude.
He's an important dude. We cut over next. We see Judo in... He does the same exact same trick that Gotten pulled, where he put a dummy asteroid over his craft. So he's in the core in a dummy, and he, like, you know, is like verniering it around the docking bay of Axis, and he gets to the ceiling, and he kind of, like, you know, parks it there. And he heads out, and we cut over. We see new type girl. She splish blast taking a bath, and then she is like, something's making my heart ache, but it feels so good. What can it be? And so she, like, kind of realizes it's Judo that she failed, because she felt it from the last battle.
And she is stoked. She really likes him.
She's so happy. I like Pull so far.
She's a sweet kid.
She's just a little cute kid. And so, let's see. You know, she's... Blah, blah, blah. She leaves the bath. She's running around the palace in her underwear, like, tip-tapping around, like, hauling ass. She's holding her clothes. And, like, she runs by Lena and Glemmy's like, LPO Pull, no running, this is the palace. It's like, he's the one in charge now, I guess.
And, Lena is like, wow, people at Axis sure are lively.
Yeah.
He's like, absolutely not, this is an exception.
You saw nothing. It's good.
She's a bad example for you.
Yeah. Speaking of bad examples, next we see Bicha and Mondo. They're carrying apples around. They're complaining like they're ants. Like, just being sent to, like, move shit around all the time, hauling cargo and fruit and apples, specifically.
And they're like, no, even ants have it better than us.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't have joined the bad guys. Who could possibly say?
Yeah.
And they run into the Endronites, and, like, one of them trips them, and they beef it, and they spill the apples everywhere. And, like, Bicha throws an apple at the guy, and he's, like, grabs it, and, like, shines it on his wrist, and, like, bites into it.
And Gotten makes fun of him.
Yeah, God makes fun of him, and Beach is, like, calling him, bastard, bastard, bastard. Like, just hucking apples at him the whole time, and he's, like, dodging them and taunting him, sticking his tongue out. It's like, damn, get his ass, this rules.
And at one point, he just grabs the apple and, like, starts eating it while he's dodging the other ones.
Yeah, I love it. It's just, I like to see Beach and Mondo get tormented.
And then someone else yells at them for wasting food.
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, they're also wasting food. They're in space, hard to grow these things, I guess. And they're like, oh, man, I think life on Axis really freaking stinks. We can't really return because we're bad guys, but if we take Lena back, it'll be fine.
Yeah, no one will be mad at us then.
Certainly not. And next we cut over, we see Judo walking around. He's in the residential block. He's marveling at how nice it looks. And then we hear a little girl saying, Big Brother.
And he turns around and looks around, and then Pole is just sitting there on the ground behind him. She's like, I came here looking for you.
She's Big Brother, I guess. Which is like, okay. That's like, yeah, sure. I guess he's whatever. I'll fucking roll with it from now on. She's cute. She's tormenting him. It's just like, it's a fun scene, you know?
And he's like, I'm sorry. I don't remember meeting you, because she seems super familiar with him. But I have to leave. And
yeah, I gotta go.
And she's like, no, stay with me. And then she, like, jumps on his back. And Mondo and Bicha are on the back of a van, and they're like, they kind of see him, they're like, oh, that guy kind of looked like Judo.
Yeah, maybe constantly be Judo. And, like, the van turns, and they, like, fly off, and they land in, like, a giant apple crate that is being sold, and it's just like, oh, okay, it's Applesville again.
And, Judo decides to take Pole to go get some ice cream, for some reason, probably because she won't leave him alone.
Probably.
And she makes him feed her.
And yeah, this one is a little bit, I don't know about that.
And then Lena is in a car with Glemmy that drives past, and she's like, oh shit, that's Judo.
Yeah, it's like, I really do like this. It's like everything's kind of coming together, like all the characters are meeting back up again. And
oh, you can go.
I was gonna say, as she drives by, she sees Judo, and she's like, oh, can we stop to get like a dress or something? And they stop at a clothing store that, Jake, it's called Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren. That's where I get all my clothes. I don't know about you, Jake. I always like shopping at Ralph Lauren.
And so we cut back to Judo, and he's still trying to figure out how Pole knows him. And then she tries to kiss him.
Yeah, this is the part I was like, oh no! But it's, Judo's like, what? No, I'm your big brother, I guess. You can't do that. And it's, I feel like it's, look, every time we get introduced to a new type, they're completely fucked in the head. I can't imagine that's important. I'm almost certainly it is. But it's like, you're not supposed to think that she's normal.
Yeah, so he says no thank you, none of that, and like tries and is like, okay, I'm leaving now. And she's like, oh, I think I might know where your little sister is. And so he immediately comes back. Yeah,
and of course, she's like, well, you gotta finish this entire sundae first.
And so
you can't leave without finishing it.
So he just eats it all in one gulp, and then
he's like frozen.
Gets some on his face, and then she licks it off.
Again,
she's
it's
10.
not like I don't think it's supposed to be a sexy thing. I think it's supposed to be like, oh, it's silly. I'm very wary of it. I understand.
It's still uncomfy.
Here's the thing. I understand why Pole's character was made. I understand that it was kind of like the proto lolicon character. And being absolutely clear, that's not the reason that we like Pole. We like Pole because she's a cute little girl, and like we're reclaiming her, and we will protect her because she's a fun character, and she's just like, she's cool. I like her around. I don't want her to be what people writing the show wanted her to be,
I didn't know anything about that about her, and
yeah, we were talking about that in Discord earlier. It's like, it's very much, she's the prototypical that kind of character archetype, like the young girl fawning over the main character. It's just, we're reclaiming it. We denounce all of that bullshit. She's ours now, and we made her normal. We took her new type gland out of her brain. Normal girl now. So let's see. We cut over. Lena and Glammy are at the dress shop at Ralph Lauren. And like Glemmy is looking at a dress, and he's like, "This would look good on Rue. I don't know her measurements though."
And while he's checking out that dress, Lena tries to run away, but trips on the dress that she's wearing and gets his attention. She runs away anyway, but
she runs away. Whatever. It's fine. Certainly, he would have found out like 30 seconds later anyway. So it's, I don't know.
Yeah. And as she's like running out of there, we see Mondo and Beecha dragging this huge sack of apples they're forced to buy from the apple salesman.
That greedy shop owner made us poor people buy something. It's like, damn, they almost have a point there.
They see Lena, and she asks them for help. So they steal a car and drive away with her in the backseat.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we got to use this truck to transport these here apples. Bye. They zoom off, and of course, Glemmy commandeers another car to chase after them. And we cut over. We see Pole and Judo walking, and like Pole's on Judo's shoulders, and she like makes him eat another ice cream to continue the chase, and he just like eats it in one gulp and gets like frozen again. This is like, I don't know, like all that ice cream can't be good for your tummy, Judo. Please be careful, my boy.
And everybody kind of drives past them as they're walking, and Pole points in like the opposite direction that the cars went. She's like, oh, she's that way.
Yeah.
Which she's probably just bringing him to the palace because that's where she saw them earlier. But it is kind of funny that everybody goes one way and she points the opposite direction.
I mean, it's funny because they ended up at the palace later on, but like, I don't think it's clairvoyance. I think it's more like Pole just figures that Lena's at the palace.
Yeah.
So, but they see the car chase happen, and Judo, I love Judo's line here. He's like, wow, you guys have hot rodders here on Axis too?
Yeah.
I love that. No matter what, time period is, people gonna want to go fast.
Oh yeah.
And Beecha, driving the car, sees the Baowu that's laid down on a truck, and he's like, I'm going to steal this mobile suit. And they do. They're able to. It's just open. They don't lock these things.
A guy eating another bag of apples walks around the corner and sees them taking the mobile suit. I'm just like, there's so many apples in this freaking episode.
I love it. It's Apple City, baby. And of course, they're in it. At this point, Lena says that she saw Judo, and Beach and Mondo are like, oh, damn, that was Judo that we saw. So now everyone knows that he's here, but like at this point, they can't do anything about it because Gotten and his crew are driving up. And, they start firing Vulcans. No one knows how does nobody know how to close a mobile suit hatch? Because they are in the Baowu. They can't close this damn thing. No one's ever been able to figure this out.
It just doesn't.
It just doesn't close. You have to have it open all the time. That's why you wear a normal suit. We know this, people. Come on.
Get
it together. It's just cool. Yeah, you're right. It's just cooler that way.
Glimmy pulls up and the guy's like, some crazy kids are stealing the mobile suit. And Glemmy like yells at Lena to come down at once or he'll severely punish her. And we get a cute little cute little line exchange with Beecha, Mondo, and Lena. Beecha is like, a severe punishment? Mondo's like, rich people are so cute. And Lena's like, who would come down?
And then they just start, like, they stomp the car that Glemmy's in and, like, walk off. It rules.
And they're like, don't follow us and we'll let you live. And they then try to close the hatch, and Mondo realizes that, there isn't a hatch to close. So we can't take this out into space.
Nope. But they're just walking. They're being chased by Gotten and the guys. And then we cut over! Because, Pull takes Judo into the palace. And we see Haman in a swimsuit hanging out by the pool, sunning herself. Or no, she's not by the pool. I think she's just like...
She's on her balcony.
She's just like on her balcony. Yeah, she's in her swimsuit sunning herself. Cool looking swimsuit. She's wearing ladder shades, Jake.
Yeah,
Haman Karn is wearing dark gray ladder shades. Oh my god.
What a fucking trendsetter.
Fashion forward, I have made an emoji in my Discord calling it swag, and it's just Haman Karn.
Oh, hell yeah.
In the ladder shades with her wet hair. It rules. I love to see it every time. I just typed it again just so I can see it. God, Haman's so cool. But she's like, Char? Because she feels new type. But no, it's not Char. It's different. But she's still like, something going on here. I don't like it.
And Pull is like, Judo, I can't feel her anymore. Maybe if I go take a bath, I can sense her.
Yeah, and Judo looks away. And she's like, no, I'll take a shower instead. And while she's in the shower, Judo like fucks off to find Lena because he's the dude do some espionage. Some Axis soldiers see him
immediately.
He escapes immediately. Yeah, I love it. He like walks out and they're like, "Hey, who are you? Where's your identification? State your ID number." And he runs off. He like goes to a window and escapes and like falls off. And turns out the room or the window was immediately over Haman's balcony because he lands and it's on roses and he like he hurts his butt and he's holding his butt because it hurts. And then Haman's right there holding a gun to him.
And there's a real cool new type moment that they have where they're like both surrounded by these colored flames.
It rules.
She realizes that he's who she got that feeling from earlier. And she's like, who do you belong to, boy?
Who do you belong to?
It's like, oh, I don't know. I just got lost.
I'm baby. And she like new type vibes out this horrific like 5-eyed demon man monster. I don't know what that was. I think she's just trying to scare him. What was that? How did she do that? Haman, tell me how. God, she does it, and if she ends up, she's gonna shoot him. She's like, if you don't tell me who you are, I'm gonna fucking kill you, kid. And of course, Beecha and Mondo and Lena are in the Bawu as of now, stomping towards the palace, being chased by Gotten.
And Beecha jumps up to fly so that he can like land and stomp on Gotten. And then, the control stick broke off, and now he can't land.
Yeah, and like they just straight up crash land. The kids are fine, but like they crash the Bawu. And in that scramble, Judo runs off, and like as he does, he's like, I'm from the Argama! And Haman's like, I knew it. I guess Char's rancid vibes are stuck on the Argama now, and it got on Judo.
They order him to stop, and he's like, no way, dude. Bye.
No way. See ya.
And he runs past the crashed mobile suit, not knowing who's in it. And
yeah, that's a cute thing.
He hops on a vehicle and drives away.
He drives away. There, Lena, Beecha, Mondo are passed out, and as he drives back to like the hangar, and he sees the Axis. He's like, "Oh, Lena must be in the ship," and he like tries to find his core fighter, and he's like, he sees an Axis like mechanic walk by, and he's like, "Hey, where are all the dummies?" And he's like, "Oh, we're gonna flush them out into space." And Judo's like, "Uh-oh, sisters," and freaks out and like dives and goes to the airlock and like is able to get in the core fighter in the asteroid before it's just like yeeted out into space because he's not in a normal suit right now. It's not good.
Yeah. But yeah, he just happens to get into the core fighter right in time and is flying around out in space. And the black Cubely floats up next to him. I was like, where are you going, Judo?
It's so freaky seeing a Cubely as like not an enemy unit, not a friendly unit, but like it's weird that it's just flying next to them and not really doing anything. It's spooky,
Yeah, and she's like, why'd you come out here, Judo? Your sister was in the palace garden, Judo. And he realizes it's Pull.
Oh, yeah, and like she just wants to play with me in the space I've created. Play with me.
Never mind your sister, just play.
Play with me. And Ino and Millie are hiding inside an asteroid right now, and they all pop out. They start shooting because, she's trying to grab Judo in the core fighter, and she wants him to go out and play with her out in space, but he doesn't have a normal suit. And she's like, I don't have my normal suit either. We're even now. And they fire on her, and that sends her into anger mode, and she's starts to get her funnels out. It's scary.
And Judo yells at her to stop, and she's like, I hate it when people get mad. I just want to play with Judo.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that El Pul might not be, something might be up with this girl.
Yeah, I wrote right after that line, oh man, I'm going to have some feels for this kid, huh? Some real fucked up stuff's going to happen, huh?
Absolutely.
She goes super new type, and Ino gets hit.
Yeah, super new type, freaking out, funnels are everywhere. Eventually, Judo's able to combine the double Zeta, and he new type DMs her, saying a girl like her shouldn't be killing people, you shouldn't be a pilot. And she's mad at Judo and starts to cry and flies off to find Glemmy.
And she just keeps talking about how she just wanted to play, and he destroys a bunch of the funnels, and she calls him mean because he won't play with her. And he's like, I won't play with you while you're in that mobile suit. She says, you're mean and I hate you. And she leaves.
Has a point.
And I was like, aw.
Oh, so sad. She's flying off to get Glemmy because she just wants to, she wants someone to play with her. And then Juno's like, all right, I gotta fucking get my sister. I'm flying back in. And he does it. And the last shot is Hamon's smirking face, overlaid over the entirety of Axis as he goes back into the belly of the beast.
And that's Gundam.
That's Gundam. What a wild ass time this week.
Oh my gosh. It was kind of crazy.
So let's see. Hold on. Jake, today, our segment after the episode, we're going to do Beyond Toon World.
Woo!
You're going to love this. Trust me. Beyond Toon World!
Jake, I got a big old one today. I tell you what. So, today, Jake, we are talking about Mondo's voice actor.
Ooh, baby.
We are talking about Kozo Shioya. Kozo Shioya. That's how you say it. Kozo Shioya, born August 18th, 1955. Japanese voice actor, narrator, actor from Kagoshima Prefecture in Japan. He's still active. He's been active since 1966. I guess he started when he was 11 years old, which is kind of crazy.
Wowzers. Holy
Apparently,
crap.
he also has a younger brother who's an actor and a voice actor and everything.
Nice.
Who's also been in a decent amount of stuff, including Gundam and some JoJo stuff too, which is kind of cool. So it's talented family.
Hell yeah.
So let me hit you, Jake. We got quite a bit this guy's been in. So as with a lot of these Gundam characters, they were in they were all several roles from a lot of 80s shows. Armored Trooper Vodoms, Dankuga, Super Beast Machine God, Blue Comet, stuff like that. Several roles. In Zeta Gundam, he was Saigusa, the guy who fucking Yazan kills.
Oh shit. They had to make room for him to have a new character.
Yeah. And he was also Roberto, which is one of one of Quattro's two main lieutenants that he flew out with, Roberto and Apolli, who both beefed it, unfortunately. Very sad.
Oh man.
In Thomas and Friends 1984 TV show, he was Duck. I don't remember that one, but I believe it.
Huh.
I used to watch Thomas when I was a kid. I don't remember a damn thing of it. In The Muppets Take Manhattan, he was Gonzo.
Interesting.
I love Gonzo.
Yeah.
In Double Zeta, of course, he was Mondo and Saigusa for the fucking one episode he was in. Very, very sad. He was Bullhorn in Transformers Super God Master Force 1988 TV show.
Excuse me? Super God Master Force?
Don't know what the hell that is, but he was Bullhorn, which is certainly a Transformer.
That's amazing.
Yeah. In Legends of the Galactic Heroes, he was Fyodor Patorichev. We'll not know who that is, but we'll find out one day. Maybe, whenever I watch that damn show. Here's a big one, Jake. Dragon Ball. Ooh. He was Boo.
Oh, shit.
He's Boo and Majin Buu, Super Buu, Kid Buu, all those damn Boos. And he was also Goldo. The one of the little Ginyu Force dudes. He got the 4 eyes who can freeze time.
Oh, snap. I love that guy.
Yeah.
A little turd.
The little Goldo. He's a little nasty man. He was Borgos in the Bardock movie. Let's see. I'm looking through. Again, he reprises his role as Gonzo in Muppets Tonight. He was in all the Slayer series. He was Chien Po in Mulan, which is one of the 3 sort of soldiers Mulan befriends, the big, tall, quiet guy. He in One Piece, of course, everyone's been in fucking One Piece. He's Genzo and Papagu, that nasty little Rastafarian starfish man.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Let me hit you with this, Jake. Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, he was Fat Man.
Oh,
he was
shit.
the roller skating trench coat dude that you got to fight. Very, very scary. Very disrespectful.
Oh,
and of course, reprising his roles as Boo and as Mondo in the Dragon Ball games and the Super Robot games, of course. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, he was Nikita Khrushchev. Absolutely crazy to me. Again, he voiced Poe in the he voiced Poe in Kingdom Hearts 2. Why wouldn't he have, a lot of Dragon Ball stuff in the future? In the 2010 Alice in Wonderland movie, he voiced the White Rabbit.
Oh, snap.
Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
That was a weird movie.
It's a very weird movie.
He was Taizo Kitagata in Yakuza 5. In Penguins of Madagascar 2014 movie, he was King Julian. He likes to move it.
Like to move it.
God. That's pretty much like all of the more present stuff he was in. And then live action, he's dubbed over a couple Oliver Platt roles. And he's a lot of like the stuff he dubs over is like, smaller roles. Oh shit, just kidding. He's the Japanese voice of Paul Blart. Oh yes. Oh, delightful.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's Paul Blart. Oh, wonderful. I love it.
Oh, what a
Mondo
hero.
Akage is Paul Blart confirmed. Wow. Thank you, Kozo Shioya. That's a big one. Oh my god. Incredible. What a world we live in where that's true. He was also Rotor Walrus in Sonic Sat AM, whatever that is.
Rotor the Walrus? Oh, man.
Damn. I can't believe it. I was like, wow, there really isn't a whole lot left. Just kidding. He's Kevin James. Well, thank you for your service. I'm also I'm saluting so hard right now. Whew. Now my podcast energy is well and truly spent because this is like, I've been recording since 1:30 p.m. and it is 5:30 p.m.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I'm in hell. Okay, Jake, before I pass out, let's wrap this baby up. Where can we find you on the internet, Jake?
You can find me on the twitters.com at Mr. Jakey Poo. You can also find me on a podcast, Most Foul, where my wife and I are reading through the Artemis Fowl books. Her for the first time, me revisiting them. And before this episode is out, we should have a new episode up about the Seventh Dwarf, and which is a short story taking place between the first two books. And then you can also find me on Hearts Against Balance, a Kingdom Hearts-inspired actual play podcast.
Hell yes. Podcasting, baby.
Where can we find you, Max?
I am on twitter.com/MaxyBajillion, Instagram as well for that handle. Got some other podcasts. You can go to Pod Agreed Cast on Twitter, find my Yu-Gi-Oh show, which is called Pod Agreed, obviously. You can go to Slappers Only Pod on Twitter to find my video game music show. And of course, Well Cool Robot is what this is. This is also, oh my god, I just completely lost my train of thought. We're on Noisepace.xyz. It is a podcast network. You can check this and my other shows and many, many more shows out there. Hit it up, Noisepace.xyz. This show is Well Cool Robot. Twitter.com/WowCoolPodcast. We have a Discord. Discord link is in the episode descriptions as well as in our Twitter bio. So come hang out, be cool. We just talk about Gunpla a lot and the stupid emojis I make, like the Haman Karn swag emoji. It's a fun time. Join us next week where we talk about more Gundam. We got one more piece of business to attend to, don't we, Jake?
Oh, we sure do. All right, Max. Who is your robot of the week?
My robot of the week, Jake, is... I'm thinking about it because I never actually remember to think of one, but it's more fun if I don't think of it and scan my room and stall for time while I'm looking to see what I could potentially use as my robot of the week. My robot of the week, Jake. Wow, I'm really coming up fucking empty, aren't I? My robot of the week is 343 Guilty Spark from Halo.
Okay.
That guy sucks. I hate him. I'm only bringing him up so I can call him out. I don't like that guy at all. But it really is the first thing I could think of because I'm well and truly spent.
He's a real stinker.
He's a real stinker, and he should have been killed earlier. I don't even. Is he even dead? I think you kill him twice in the story. It's been so long since I played Halo.
I have not played a Halo since the third one, so I could not
you're
answer.
Probably better off, honestly. Well, go to hell, 343 Guilty Spark. I liked when I got to shoot with a Spartan laser. It rolled.
Woo!
Woo! And, Jake, as we always say, in the words of Haman Karn, because she's here now, we missed her.
War is bad.
Wow, cool robot.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, good night, Peach.